The episode commences with Noel confronting Albert, who grows apprehensive upon discovering that everyone anticipates him to battle Noel. He is informed that he can select a proxy from the assemblage, but Albert declines, asserting that he will combat personally. At this juncture, Pinocchio appears, and Albert inquires about his presence. Pinocchio responds that he desires to observe the contest. Noah comprehends that he was the individual who summoned Pinocchio, as he wished to eliminate Gambino, who was sullying the family reputation by peddling narcotics. The physician had explicitly mandated this, and if Albert is vanquished, Pinocchio will obtain 50 million. Albert surmises that Pinocchio is orchestrating everything, but Pinocchio clarifies that Noel devised this snare. He implores Albert to hasten and designate his substitute, as he has a demanding timetable. Albert refuses to participate in the match, which infuriates Pinocchio. He maintains that, as a constituent of the Gambino lineage, Albert must shoulder this obligation. If Albert triumphs, he will be acknowledged as the patriarch of the Gambino family and will request Don to disregard the turmoil engendered by the explorer's bar. Albert accedes and chooses Koga to enter the competition. Alma requests to assist him, but Albert declines, desiring to manage it independently. Alma is profoundly concerned, recognizing that he will be unable to overcome Koga. When Noel encounters Koga, Koga contemplates that he discerns the expression in Noel's eyes, presuming that Noel believes he has already secured the victory. Koga maintains he is superior and that no individual can conquer him. Koga informs Noel that he is thrilled to engage him, and postulates that if Noel is so keen on a rematch, he must be concealing something. They initiate the skirmish with Koga charging towards Noel, but being incapable of landing any blows. Noel assaults him with an ice projectile incantation, and Koga utilizes a frantic cherry blossom enchantment in retaliation. The two spells generate a detonation, and momentarily, no one can perceive anything. We subsequently observe Noel and Koga battling ferociously in a glacial citadel. Koga endeavors to strike Noel, but Noel effortlessly deflects his assaults. Koga positions himself in a manner that Noel interprets, augmenting his offensive capability exponentially. Koga brandishes his blade, and Noel knows that if he approaches too closely, Koga will bisect him. Nevertheless, Noel is undaunted. In this instant, Koga realizes that Noel is concealing something. Noel discards his armament, as his munitions are exhausted, and then retrieves a dagger. He commences uttering gibberish to divert Koga, which succeeds as Koga doesn't comprehend his utterances. Noel subsequently pierces him in the abdomen. Koga retaliates by assaulting Noel's right appendage, but Noel wrenches the sword from his grasp, astounding Koga. Noel cautions him not to undervalue him. Abruptly, Koga senses something peculiar transpiring, and Noel chuckles derisively, informing Koga that his ammunition was depleted earlier, and that was a component of his strategy from the outset. Consequently, we then witness Koga metamorphose into a block of ice. Noel swiftly maneuvers and delivers a potent strike, prompting Koga to collapse onto the ground. Noel defeats him. Koga reflects that during his childhood, he dreaded opposition, feeling like a pestilence, that no one anticipated anything from him. He was a disappointment in every aspect. After becoming a combatant, he had to contend for survival, and these clashes fortified him, but he still feels feeble internally. Ultimately, Noel prevails because he is remarkably potent and trusts in himself, unlike Koga, who dreaded his father. If Koga were similar to Noel, would he have defied his father? Subsequently, the chairman converses with Noel, commending the fight. If Noel encounters any difficulties, the chairman proposes assistance. Noel replies that he doesn't desire aid from anyone, since they are a delinquent family. Noel and Alma return home, and Alma attends to his injuries, informing him he is imprudent for employing such potent spells that induce cardiac shock, which was exceedingly perilous. Noel responds that securing victory in the duel was paramount to him. Alma beseeches him to permit her to contribute next time and not usurp her work. Noel expresses remorse and pledges to allow her to aid him in the future. He then contemplates that Gambino's affair is concluded and his insane narcotic enterprise will terminate. Pinocchio arrives desiring to converse with Noel, expressing his elation at disposing of a rival without any personal jeopardy. He proffers Noel the complete sum and requests to speak with him confidentially. Alma departs the chamber. Pinocchio requests Noel to affiliate with their family so he can preside over the Gambino family. Noel is astonished, questioning why he, at just 16 years old, would be asked. Pinocchio informs him that age is inconsequential, only valor matters. He appends that this pertains to the explorers as well. Noel retorts that he has already rebuffed him previously and won't submit to anyone, regardless of the circumstances. Pinocchio then inquires if Noel knows his classification. He is an exploration adept and a categorized delinquent. While not proficient in direct confrontation, he has perfected a multitude of specialized aptitudes. Pinocchio discloses that he can initiate an ability that permits him to extract Noel's heart from his thorax if Noel refuses him twice. Alarmed, Noel inquires what he has inflicted upon him. Pinocchio explains that this is his adjudication aptitude. It empowers him to seize someone's heart once they reject him twice. He states that Noel is still linked to him spatially, but if Noel relocates more than 5 meters away, he will perish. Pinocchio adds that Noel is extraordinarily gifted and will precipitate a calamity for the Luciano family someday. However, he extends Noel an opportunity to unite with them. Noel resolutely rejects the proposition, declaring that he will become the supreme explorer one day, even if the Luciano family cannot harm him. Pinocchio mocks him, stating he appears menacing, but he won't eliminate him. He expresses regret for the disagreeable surprise and cautions Noel that once his words are articulated, they cannot be retracted. Pinocchio departs, instructing Noel to ascend to the summit. Meanwhile, Albert expresses his terror of demise and is prepared to do anything to survive. Pinocchio informs him that he can reside in a pigsty, ambulating like a swine with his hands and feet severed, admonishing him to conduct himself appropriately. The scene transitions to Noel conversing with Koga. Noel informs him that he is officially his mentor now, but he doesn't require a servant. He explains that he is not interested in ascending the explorer's echelons, as he aspires to attain the apex of all explorers. He doesn't need a diminutive companion animal, but rather a ferocious canine to facilitate his objective. Koga concurs to assist, stating he desires to be a spectator to Noel, realizing his aspiration. Later, we perceive Koga and Alma in the woodland, slaying numerous monsters. Noel instructs Koga to proceed towards the enemy formations while he and Alma will clear the path. Noel battles and eliminates adversaries, proclaiming that he will become a ferocious wolf. Alma eliminates a commander, and Koga becomes enraged, asserting that the commander's head belongs to him. Alma retorts that she was aiding him by severing the commander's arm, so she performed the task. Noel intervenes, stating that the spoils of conflict belong to the entire collective, not any solitary member, and implores them to cease seeking individual renown. After the battle, Noel is more self-assured than ever. He believes they are sufficiently formidable to establish a faction, and once they return to Itra, he will petition the authorities for faction status. Once their solicitation is granted, they will no longer be simply a group. They will become an official faction, recognized by the nation. Aoma observes a symbol on Noel's hand, signifying that he can now be elevated to rank B, bringing him one stride closer to his objective of establishing the most powerful faction. This installment concludes with Noel's determination to become the greatest explorer and ascend to the pinnacle of the 7-star insignia.